Hello everyone, welcome back to Ouroboros Tarot. So today's reading is a what they felt the last time they saw you reading. So how it's going to work is we are going to look into what was going on the last time you saw your person, just so you'll know whether or not that is the right pile for you. Then we'll get into how they saw you, we'll get into how they felt, we'll also get channeled messages, and then of course we will pull an advice card. So, I have 4 piles for you to choose from. Pile 1, Pile 2, Pile 3, and Pile 4. Go ahead and pause this video. Take as much time as you need to find the pile that sits right with your energy as well as with your person's energy. And I will see you in a minute. Hi, Pile 1. So today we are looking into what it is that your person felt the last time that they saw you. So how we're going to do this today is we are going to look first and foremost at what was the most prominent thing happening at the time of when you last saw one another, just so you'll know whether or not this is your pile. These cards here are going to represent how your person saw you the last time you two were together, and these cards here are going to give more insight into how they were feeling along with the tarot. So let's go ahead and get started. So the last time you saw one another energetically, there was kairos, conflict, and cosmic exploration. And they were viewing you at the time as the bee and the blue jay and cardinal. Okay, so I would say that this pile in particular is a pile in which the last time you saw one another was not in the 3D world. You guys saw one another in a dream. There's just an element of separation here, and also an element of transcending time and space. Kairos talks about time and going beyond time, things standing the test of time. And cosmic exploration is astral projection, astral travel, exploring beyond the third dimension. So that's definitely what was happening the last time you two saw one another. And in this interaction, there was conflict of some kind. There was an argument, or you two were not seeing eye to eye on something, or perhaps this connection is in separation currently, like it's a no contact situation. And in that case, there was communication on not feeling very good about it, not feeling happy or positive about the situation at hand, and both of you were expressing your frustrations. They saw you, though, as and you know what, if it wasn't a dream, there's just an element of like transcendence here. So the last time you saw one another, if you did physically see one another, I would say there was an element of spiritual practice here. So those would be the two takeaways for me in terms of what was going on. So if those don't resonate, this isn't your pile, and that's okay. There's probably another message for you in a different pile. So how they saw you, though, was as somebody very, very magnetic, beautiful, artistic, attractive. They were very, very attracted to you. They saw you as somebody who was very happy, joyful, doing things their way, and really just expressive. And of course, with expression can come conflict, so that makes sense. But they saw your expressiveness as something that was artistic, was magical, was creative, was true to you. They saw you as somebody very, very beautiful, and perhaps a little bit overworked. The bee can often talk about really wanting to stay busy, get things done, but then at a certain point, you really feel overworked. Sorry if you can hear that weird noise. That's Joplin crawling under the bed. But yeah, so that's what I'm seeing. It feels like they thought the way you were dressed or the way you did your hair, There was just something about your physical appearance just seemed so artistic, so creative. But let's also look into how they felt. How is pile one's person feeling? So we have the High Priestess, the Seven of Swords. We have the Queen of Wands, the Hanged One, the King of Cups. How are they feeling the last time they saw pile one? We have the Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, and the Magician. And on the back of the deck, we have the Five of Cups. Okay. And let's go ahead and flip over the oracle cards as well. They also felt success as well as service. Okay. So the High Priestess, first of all, just further confirms this like transcendental atmosphere that the both of you were in. And with intuition here, it feels like there was just like a very soulful connection at the time, and their feelings really came to the surface, and there was a level of acknowledging the depth of their feelings in a way in which I don't think they had recognized before. With the Seven of Swords and the Two of Pentacles, this is interesting. It feels like one aspect of this conflict had to do with like there being a lack of trust. One of you seems to not trust the other, and perhaps it's for good reason. Perhaps this person has given you a reason to not trust them, or you've given them a reason to not trust them. But there was this feeling of like needing to bring that into balance. There was this feeling of needing to prove themselves or to trust you. There was a recognition that something was out of balance and it didn't make them feel good. With the Queen of Wands and the Seven of Wands, you know, the key word for the Seven of Wands is defense. And the Queen of Wands is this keyword is determination, but I think of inspiration, I think of manifestation. And it seems like they felt really defensive, or they felt as though they really had to prove themselves to you. And it didn't really sway them from doing so. With the Hanged One and the Magician, it feels like they felt like they did a good job proving themselves and stepping up to the plate and showing you or showing themselves just how great or wonderful they can be. And with the Blue Jay and Cardinal here, that those animals very much, they care very much about what other people think. They care very much about proving themselves to others. So this could also be them feeling what it was that you were feeling at the time. But with success and with service, success is just further confirmation that they felt as though they did a good job portraying what it was that they wanted to portray to you. And service here, I think, is kind of one and the same with this scarcity mentality and priorities. It feels like they really wanted to get on your good side. But at the end of the day, with the Five of Cups here, the biggest thing that I'm getting from this, honestly, is like they woke up. And when they woke up, they were sad because it hadn't happened in the 3D. Yeah, but that's what they were feeling the last time they saw you. There was just this desire to prove themselves to you, or there was a desire to believe in you, even though maybe past events have shown them that they shouldn't. Let's go ahead and get some channeled messages. What does pile 1's person want to say to pile 1? What do you want to say to pile 1? I can't stop thinking about you. I left when I saw you with someone. So yeah, I think that this is confirming that the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Swords was something that happened in the past. So it's either confirming that they know you left when you saw them with someone, when you found out the truth. There's just an element here of a strong desire to repair. What do you want to say? We have, I'm starting to understand our connection, and I left before you could leave me. Yeah, this connection definitely seems like it is in separation, like it's in a no contact type of thing. But let's keep going. Let's go ahead and get you some advice, pile 1. What advice is there for pile 1? We have wholeness. I am complete, whole, and filled with love. I have everything I need. If I ask or look for more, I'm ignoring the love and gifts that are already in my life. Instead, I'll be grateful and acknowledge that anything else would be extra icing on life's cake. And one more. One more for pile 1, please. Okay. And we have tact. I speak and act with care, remembering that impulsive words or harsh tone can sometimes hurt others. If it feels like I'm walking on eggshells, I'll remind myself that those eggshells might actually be a shop full of china, and I might actually be a bowl. Then I'll remind myself to stop mixing metaphors. All right, pile 1, well, this is what I'm seeing for you. If this resonated with you, I would love to hear about how in the comment section down below. If you are interested in booking a private reading with me, you can do so in my Etsy shop. Thank you so much, pile 1, for clicking on this video and watching it, and I'm wishing you the best, and I really hope that I have the opportunity to see you in another video soon. Bye! Hello, pile 2. So today we are looking into what it is that your person felt the last time you two saw one another. So essentially how we're going to do it is we are going to first look into what was going on at the time that you last saw one another, just so you'll know whether or not this is your pile. Then we'll look into how they were seeing you during that time, and then we'll look into what it was that they were feeling. So, what was going on the last time you two saw one another? We have hope, healing through rest, and the kiss. Okay. So I would say that the last time you two saw one another, there was physical intimacy that happened. And it seems as though with healing through rest and hope, that this may have been something that was kind of started out of a need to reconnect with one another, a need to repair some damage that could have potentially happened. It was an effort, and it was an effort to repair or to increase the depths of this connection. I would also say that for a lot of you, this may have been, something in which you two spent, a whole weekend together, and you were just with each other, staying inside, doing nothing but being around one another for a while, just reconnecting. So if that resonates, let's go ahead and look into how it was that they were seeing you at the time. So during this last time that they saw you, they were seeing you as the mole and as the horse. So what I will say is that first and foremost, they were looking at you in awe, at how you are, at who you are as a person. it's very admirable in their eyes, and I think it's something that they desire for themselves but are not quite there. They were seeing you as somebody who has blind trust in their path and in their intuition and in the choices that they make. And not a lot of people can say that entirely. Many people second guess themselves or overthink their choices or listen to the fears inside their head or the what ifs, and they really are dictated by those outside factors. And they were seeing you as somebody who doesn't live by that, who goes after what it is that they want, who charges forward even if it's blindly. And in that, there's like an inner knowing within you that, like an inner guidance system that they were acknowledging in you that they really, really admired and were in awe of. But let's go ahead now and look into how they were feeling about you. So how was Pile 2's person feeling about Pile 2 the last time they saw them? We have the Two of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, just too many. How are they feeling the last time they saw? Okay, we have the Ten of Wands reversed, the Star. How are they feeling? We have the Ten of Cups, the Four of Cups reversed, the Magician. Oh, okay. There's a lot here. The Six of Cups reversed, the Eight of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. And then on the back of the deck, we have the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so Pile 2. There was a lot of healing that happened the last time. Oh, you know what? And let's also pull these. So we also have Forgiveness and Stop, which I think goes hand in hand with this Six of Cups reversed, but we'll get into that in a second. This person was feeling a whole lot of different feelings. There was like an overflow of feelings of all different kinds the last time that they saw you. For the Five of Pentacles to be the bottom of the deck, there's an element here of desperation. Like I feel a feeling of being desperate, of desperately wanting things to go back to the way they were, or desperately wanting things to turn out a certain way. There's just an element of very strong need here. They felt really, really happy to be in your presence, really connected to you. The Ten of Cups is emotional fulfillment. It's the ultimate connecting with someone. It's connecting with someone and then building on that. And with the Two of Pentacles above this, it seems like they really were prioritizing that feeling. They really wanted to focus in on that happy feeling that they were feeling. With the Four of Cups being reversed and the Five of Wands, they weren't in an energy of being apathetic or refusing to see the possibilities. They were looking for possibilities to expand on this connection or expand on this intimacy often. As many times as they could, they were looking around for more opportunities, and they were wanting to take action. With the Ten of Wands being reversed, it also feels like a weight was lifted off their shoulders the last time that they saw you. And in replacement of this burden that they had been holding on to came personal power, came the ability to take their life into their own hands. And they, of course, always have that ability, but it seems like they woke up to it. suddenly the weight that was weighing down on them, that was causing them to focus solely on that, it was just so unbearable and so much, was finally lifted, and they could finally see everything else around them. So with the Star here, and then the Six of Cups, and the Eight of Wands, and the Ace of Cups, it feels like there was a whole lot of hope, a really, really, really strong desire to heal, and to apologize or to make amends. The Six of Cups for me represents apologies. It represents people from your past coming back. It's very warm and loving and happy. And, you know, here it says memories. And there's two things that I'm getting from this. One, with memories here, it feels like, or with the Six of Cups being reversed, it feels like there was this need within them to not let this just become a memory, or to not let this go with the rest of the memories and then nothing else happens. And there was also a need to apologize, to communicate. The Eight of Wands can symbolize communication, can symbolize contact. And it feels like they had a really, really strong need to communicate what it was that they were feeling. And I think that they were feeling almost like if you felt like you were sorry for something, what they were feeling was that you didn't need to apologize. Everything was okay. That they were just happy that you two were together at that moment. Let's go ahead and also get some channeled messages. What does pile 2's person want to say? I hope that one day you can forgive me. So that's another thing. It could be they had a strong desire to be forgiven, to ask for forgiveness, to start over, and they don't feel as though they were forgiven. And then let's keep going. I wish I had treated you better. I am becoming a better person, and I will wait for a sign from you. Okay, and then lastly, pile 3, let's go ahead and get you some advice. What advice is there for pile 2? We have wait and see. Thoughts love to wander into assumptions and race ahead to the future. But what if you told them to cool their jets and chill a sec? Today you get to put your mental chatter on pause, to take a breath and simply wait and see how things play out before you let your mind run a marathon of imagined scenarios. Wait, and you'll see that waiting and seeing was a lot more productive than wondering and worrying. Insert audible sigh of relief here. All right, pile 2, well, that is what I am seeing for you today. If this resonated, I would love to hear about how it did in the comment section down below. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can do so in my Etsy shop. The link is in my description box. Thank you so much, pile 2. I'm really wishing you the best. I'm really rooting for you. You deserve all the happiness and love in the world. And hopefully, pile 2, I will see you in another video soon. Bye. Hello, pile 3. So today's reading is asking, what is it that they felt the last time that they saw you? So to start, we're going to look into what was going on energetically the last time you two saw one another, just so you can see whether or not this is your pile. And if it resonates, then we will go ahead and get on into how they saw you, as well as how they were feeling. And we'll also get some channeled messages, and of course we'll get an advice card for you. So pile 3, the last time you saw this person, we have the Queen, dependency, and dancing. So pile 3, I would say that the last time you two saw one another, there was like a moment of letting loose, of breaking the chains, of removing the fears, or a pause in overthinking. Dancing is something that requires vulnerability, as well as the ability to flow, to do what feels good, to do what feels right, to be creative. And all of these things can be hindered by a simple thought. A simple thought or our own intellect can entrap us and cause us to feel too self-conscious, or cause us to feel too insecure to even try. And what I'm sensing is that, I mean, it could be quite literal that the last time you two saw one another, there was dancing involved. But it seems as though there was just a moment of courage and of kind of letting loose and being graceful and kind of collaborating together. This image of this dance is not a singular person dancing, although that is very fun as well. This is two people dancing together. So there was an element of collaboration here, to try to break out of the self-limiting beliefs or the mental prison that perhaps you both had placed yourself in. So if that resonates with you, let's go ahead and get into how they saw you. So the last time they saw you, they viewed you as the snake and as the moth. So with the snake here, I think one of the biggest things that I'm getting from this snake is that they viewed you as somebody who made them a little bit nervous, who kind of challenged them. Snakes can be very misunderstood. They and you know what? Like there's no judgment if you have a fear of snakes. I have a fear of spiders. I'm terrified of them, and yet I know that they're not. I know that my fear is telling me something that is very real to me, but at the same time, the chances of that spider hurting me, the threat of that spider is not as high as what my fear or what my chemical response is indicating. But that's neither here nor there. I am totally getting off topic. So they viewed you as someone who felt a little bit threatening, like threatening in the sense of you were going to take them out of their comfort zone, or you were going to challenge them to change. Because at the end of the day, even though snakes seem threatening, they're not. And really what they represent is transformation. So when the snake appears, it's representative of changes coming your way. And they are viewing you as somebody who is kind of catapulting them or pushing them towards that change. And perhaps, with the moth here, with dancing, it seems like there was like collaboration. It seems like both of you were working toward not overthinking. And I can see it with the moth. The moth is an animal or an insect that looks for a quick fix, and can view things in a way in which the grass is always greener on the other side, can be really attracted to artificial things, artificial light, superficial things. But also they're very energetic, very enthusiastic. They are very excited about life and life's experiences. And I think that he or she or they saw all of that in you the last time that they saw you. So let's go ahead and look into how they were feeling. How is pile 3's person feeling? Okay, so we have Temperance reversed, the 5 of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. How are they feeling the last time they saw you? We have the 7 of Pentacles. How are they feeling? We have the Ace of Swords. Okay. We have the 7 of Wands. The 4 of Pentacles. and the Sun. And on the back of the deck, we have the Five of Pentacles, which is so interesting because I think that has come out as the bottom of the deck energy for every single pile so far. Okay, and then we also have surrender and confidence, which I think is so beautiful. Like, there's just an element of not overthinking it, not getting in your head. They let themselves go. They let the need to control or the need to appear a certain way, to keep up appearances, go for a minute. And they realize that it actually increased their confidence. And you see it here with temperance. Temperance is an energy of really wanting to slow down or temper down, or just kind of like ease things a little bit so that they're not so loud or overwhelming or abrasive. And it's reversed. I think that they felt like they could let loose. They didn't have to temper themselves down, and they felt inspired with this Ace of Swords here. They felt inspired and they felt clear-headed because they didn't go down the rabbit hole of their thoughts. With Five of Wands and the Seven of Wands, there's a couple of things, and the message I think is the same with this Four of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. There was so much inspiration, and like honestly, it feels like there was enjoyment or fun, passion. There was play, but at the same time, there was like discomfort or like an awkwardness to it. They felt funny, and they still did it. They still pushed themselves to kind of explore how they were feeling, but it felt unnatural because they hadn't ever really expressed themselves or experienced anything like this before. And then with the Seven of Pentacles and the Sun, they felt accomplished by the end of you two spending time together. They felt very, very accomplished. The Five of Pentacles kind of gives me the feeling that like perhaps they did go back into their headspace like soon afterwards and got really nervous or like fearful of abandonment, kind of went back to that dependency. Or it could just be indicative of them feeling hyper aware of how this connection has been in the past, or how their behavior has been in the past, how unhealthy coping mechanisms could have been inhibiting them from feeling this confidence that they felt. Let's go ahead and get, well, where did they go? Let's go ahead and get some channeled messages. What does pile 3's person want to say to pile 3? I wish things could be different. And I think that this is I'm always going to say this. I don't think that you should ever take these cards literal. There's so many interpretations of it, and how you interpret it, how you feel this card is speaking to you is how you should be interpreting it. To me, what I'm seeing based on the imagery that I have come up with in my head, it feels like this is more so saying, I'm realizing things can be different. I want them to be different. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. What do you want to say to pile 3? What do you want? Oh, we have another one. We have, I wish I could share my good news with you. And again, maybe this is, to me, this sounds more like I can't wait to share my good news with you. Or I want to share you mean a lot to me and I want to share this with you. Something like that. But it could also just be, I wish I could. And then just being near you is intoxicating. Okay, and then finally, pile 3, let's go ahead and get you some advice. What advice is there for pile 3? Boundless love. Today, I'll open my eyes a little wider and walk a little taller, noticing that the world around me is filled with tiny miracles. With this in mind, it's easy to fall in love over and over again with everything from honeybees to neon signs. And while I'm feeling this inspired and this in love, everything else sort of falls into place. Yeah, everything about this just screamed inspiration. Inspiration and excitement, play, joy, and also like perspective shifts. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you, pile 3. If this resonated, I would love to hear about how it did in the comments section down below. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so in my Etsy shop. Thank you so much for watching, pile 3. I'm so glad that you clicked on this, and I'm so happy that you watched it all the way through. So thank you, and hopefully I will see you in another video soon. Bye! Hello, pile 4. So today's reading is, what is it that they felt the last time that they saw you? So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to look at what was energetically happening between the two of you the last time you saw one another. And if that resonates with you, then we'll know that it's your pile, and we will then go into how it is that your person saw you the last time you saw one another. And then we'll get into how they felt. We'll also go ahead and pull channeled messages, and we'll get an advice card, of course. So let's get started. So the last time you saw one another, we have the Ocean, No Bull, and Robbery. So it looks like, pile 4, like there was a falling out of some kind the last time you two saw one another. It feels like there were fears. There was like triggers of some kind with Robbery. There's like obviously a fear when it comes to Robbery of being duped or cheated or robbed, essentially. But also, what this I think is indicative of is kind of, feeling as though something bad happened. And with No Bull and the Ocean, it feels like emotions were expressed, truth came out. And the ocean is a place that cannot be tamed. You step into it and you cannot contain it. You cannot tame it. You cannot force it to do anything that it is not time for it to do. And it also has insurmountable depths. And water obviously represents feelings. It represents your heart space. So this tells me that what happened between the two of you the last time was a falling out, and some things probably were expressed with No Bull where there was truth to them that probably had been hidden beneath the surface for a while. But yeah, it seems like boundaries were laid, and yeah, it just seems like it kind of got chaotic. It got chaotic and really emotional. And then how they were seeing you at the time, how they saw you when this occurred. We have the Phoenix, the Stingray, and the Beaver. So because they're seeing you as the Stingray, I do think that this emotional revelation or outburst had a lot to do with what it was that you were expressing. But again, with Robbery here, it feels like you were probably triggered. Someone was, or both of you were. Eventually, at a certain point, I'm sure both of you were. But I think that this had more so to do with your feelings or your being upset. And I could be wrong, but I'm seeing that because the Stingray lives in the ocean. And what I think is interesting is that the Stingray and the Phoenix are both, they kind of go hand in hand very beautifully, actually. So what I'm seeing is that your person saw you as somebody who was rightfully upset, or who had enough. The stingray is an animal that represents developing a spine, getting a backbone, finally standing up for what it is that you want, finally standing up for what it is that you will no longer tolerate, finally being an advocate for yourself and not letting other people bully you. And they're seeing you, they're remembering you this last time they saw you as somebody who stood up for themselves, who finally said enough is enough. And the phoenix essentially is a creature that recognizes that their suffering has gone on for long enough, and they can change it at any moment. And of course, I'm not talking about like anything that has to do with abuse or anything like that. Like, please don't ever take what I'm saying as like literal truth. This is, anything I say is open to interpretation, and it could be totally misinterpreted. But that one thing in particular, like, please don't ever misinterpret me ever saying that I think that that's someone else's fault. But anyway, I'm getting distracted again. They're seeing you as somebody who kind of was looking at their patterns, and perhaps was even looking at their patterns in terms of the people you connect with or the people you have partnerships with, and you were seeing that pattern again with them. And this is just an example, but then you were like, I don't want to repeat this pattern for the 10th time. And I see what's going on here, and I'm not needing you to change. I see you for who you are. This is who you are, and it's harming me. You know, something like it just seems like they're seeing you as somebody who like kind of shocked them, in all honesty. Like it feels like they didn't realize that you felt this strongly either for them or about a certain situation, or they just didn't realize the hurt or the turmoil that you were in. And in all honesty, I think it kind of threw them off, but because these cards are here, this is indicative of them now in the present, looking back on this, on how you were looking back on it from the point of view of, oh yeah, that was 100% valid. How this person acted was absolutely warranted, and I don't blame them. And the beaver is an energy of practicality, of homemaking, of doing things, of putting importance on practicality. And I think that all this beaver is representative of. I don't like, it would be so weird to me, and I mean, who knows, maybe this is what happened, but I don't think that they're viewing you as somebody who really was taking their power back and then was like, and now I'm going to go grocery shopping because that's important. Like it's not literal. I think it's more so them seeing you as somebody who was no longer going to be in denial of how they were feeling, like you were taking on a logical approach rather than one in which you were living in a state of wishful thinking, perhaps. There was just an element of logic here that they saw in you, where it was like, yes, you were probably feeling things very, very deeply, but everything that you felt had validity, and there was wiseness to it. And then in terms of how they felt the last time they saw you, we have doubt, and we have anger. So I think that at first this really threw them for a loop. I think that they really felt defensive, and were really dismissive. This doubt card is giving me the energy of somebody who doesn't understand the gravity of what's going on, or was dismissive as a form of trying to, like, out of self-preservation, or like not wanting to ruin the moment or something like that. There's just like an element of like, it's rude. But I mean, I think it also is a natural response at first when someone starts calling you out on your bullshit, to kind of take a step back and close up. And I think that's what this is indicating, is that this person felt really attacked at the time. I'm going to pull more on what it was that they were feeling then, but I'm also going to pull some cards, and I didn't do this for any of the other piles, so don't tell them. But I'm also going to pull some cards on what it is that they're feeling now. So what was it that they were feeling? Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles. What was it that they were feeling? We have the King of Pentacles. What were they feeling the last time they saw you? We have the Nine of Pentacles. This is so strange. What were they feeling the last time they saw you? Okay, and then we have the Lovers. Okay. And what are they feeling now that they've had time to calm down, or that they've had space? We have Ten of Swords. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands. We have the Queen of Cups. Okay. We have the Hierophant, the Sun, and the Knight of Swords. And then on the back of the deck, we have the Three of Cups. Okay, so what I think is interesting about what's showing up here in terms of how they were feeling when they last saw you, is that over here with what was happening, we have the ocean. And then over here, there's no water. This is all earth. It's like they were desperately trying to stay on land. They did not want to dive into these deep feelings. What I'm getting from this Ace of Pentacles, it doesn't really have anything to do with how I would normally interpret it. All I'm picturing is like somebody digging their like hands into the ground, like trying to like hold on for dear life. And I think they also felt with the Nine of Pentacles, they also felt kind of they didn't feel like you two were working things out. It felt more so like you guys were against each other. But there was also like an element of stubbornness here. The King of Pentacles can be a very stubborn king. And it kind of feels like with doubt here, they really misunderstood how upset or like how south this interaction had gone. Now, in terms of how they are feeling now, we have the Ten of Swords and the Queen of Cups. I feel like now what this is indicating is now they do understand. Now they understand that their insensitivity or their inability to see the feelings that were beneath what was going on at the time could potentially have caused this to end. They're under the impression that they may have really, really, really messed up. With the Ace of Wands here and then the Hierophant, it's like they've had an aha moment. They've had an aha moment and they're realizing the error of their ways. The key word here for the Hierophant is unlearn. Oh, girl. And we also have clarity, the Sun, clarity, and we have the Knight of Swords, ambition. The Knight of Swords is somebody who wants to come charging forward. It feels like they now, and with the Three of Cups here, You know, this is about union. It's about coming together. It's about being with people that you care for. This person desires to express to you that they understand now, that they want to, they have a desire to work on this. But I think that they also feel like this may have gone too far. This falling out may be the end. Okay, let's go ahead, pile 4. I feel like your group was much longer than the other ones. Oh, here it is. Let's go ahead and get you some channeled messages. What does pile 4's person want to say? My life is not as together as it seems. Aw, I wonder if you are happy without me. I mean, I don't mean to be on their side. Okay, too many, but one came out that was all on its own, and it was, I wish I had treated you better. And I lost myself for a little while. Okay, and then pile 4, let's go ahead and get you some advice. Okay. Just gonna do this one. My best self. I trust that when I am doing what's best for me and being the happiest version of myself, the right sorts of relationships will appear in my life. That means I can let go of all my worries about the future, knowing that my only job is to be happy in this moment, while simultaneously attaining a cosmic level of enlightened awareness and total psychological self-actualization. All right, pile 4. Well, first and foremost, I would say that if you see yourself as this stingray and this phoenix as well, good fucking job. Good for you. Truly, that's something I think that you should be very, very, very proud of. To be able to stand up for yourself, even when it might complicate what it is that you think you want. I think that that's like, it's just so, it's so important, and not a lot of people are willing to do that. A lot of people compromise, or not compromise, a lot of people settle for things that aren't serving them. So I'm sorry if you're still, feeling really down, or if you're feeling icky, but you should feel very proud of yourself. That standing up for yourself takes a huge amount of self-love. But pile 4, if this resonated, I would love to know about how it did in the comment section down below. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I would love to read for you, and you can do so in my Etsy shop. I have the link in my description box. Thank you so much for watching, pile 4. I'm rooting for you. You deserve nothing but all of the happiness and love in the world. And I hope that I'll have the chance to see you in another video soon. Bye!